First contact and cultural shock. The massive Galactic Council ship, Harmony of Stars, hung in orbit above Earth, its crystalline hull shimmering in the sunlight. Inside, Ambassador Zixera of the Elgorian Empire fidgeted nervously, her tendrils twitching as she prepared for humanity's first official contact with the galactic community. "Are you certain about this, High Counselor?" Zixera asked, her multifaceted eyes fixed on the blue-green planet below. "The reports from our scout ships are disturbing." High Counselor Venthor, a towering insectoid being, chittered softly. "We must welcome all sapient species, Zixera, even those from challenging worlds." As the elevator doors slid open, revealing the human delegation, Zixera suppressed a shudder. The bipedal creatures looked deceptively harmless, but she knew better. They came from a world that would kill most species in minutes. Ambassador Sarah Chen stepped forward, a warm smile on her face. "Greetings, representatives of the Galactic Council. On behalf of Earth and humanity, we welcome you." The meeting proceeded smoothly at first, with discussions of trade, cultural exchange, and the sharing of technology. But as the humans began to relax, their conversation turned to more casual topics. "I can't wait to get back home," one of the human aides said. "My dog probably misses me." Zixera's translator struggled with the unfamiliar word. "Pardon me, but what is a dog?" Sarah's eyes lit up. "Oh, dogs are wonderful creatures. They're pets we keep in our homes. Loyal, friendly, and great companions." The alien delegation exchanged confused looks. Venthor leaned forward, his antennae twitching. "You keep other creatures in your dwellings. For what purpose?" "Companionship, mostly," Sarah explained. "Some help with tasks or protection. We have all sorts of pets: dogs, cats, birds, reptiles." As Sarah continued, pulling out her phone to show pictures, the aliens' confusion turned to horror. The creatures humans casually referred to as pets were, by galactic standards, apex predators. Sharp teeth, powerful muscles, and keen senses, all hallmarks of deadly hunters. Zixera's tendrils curled in shock. "You allow these predators near your young?" Sarah laughed, misinterpreting the alien's reaction. "Oh yes, many Earth children grow up with pets. They're perfectly safe when properly trained and cared for." The human delegation, oblivious to the growing tension, continued sharing stories about their beloved animals. Tales of loyal dogs saving lives, cats offering comfort, and even massive constrictors kept as exotic pets left the aliens in stunned silence. As the meeting concluded, Zixera pulled Venthor aside. "High Counselor, we cannot ignore this. These humans, they casually coexist with creatures that would be considered planet-wide threats on most worlds. What does this say about them?" Venthor's compound eyes flickered with concern. "It suggests a level of adaptability and resilience we hadn't anticipated. We must approach this alliance with caution." As the human delegation departed, promises of future meetings and cooperation hanging in the air, the aliens watched them go with a mixture of fascination and fear. Humanity had revealed itself to be far more complex and potentially dangerous than anyone had imagined. In the days that followed, news of humanity's pets spread through the galactic community like wildfire. Speculation ran rampant about the true nature of these Deathworlders who treated apex predators as companions. Some saw potential allies of unparalleled strength, while others whispered of the threat humanity might pose if ever provoked. Meanwhile, blissfully unaware of the stir they had caused, humanity continued its daily routines. In homes across Earth, people cuddled with their cats, walked their dogs, and marveled at the beauty of their exotic pets, all while the stars above buzzed with fearful excitement about the strange new species that had joined the galactic stage. The Galactic Summit and Human Revelations. 6 months after first contact, the Galactic Council convened an emergency summit on the neutral planet Xanadu Prime. Representatives from 100 species gathered to discuss the implications of humanity's integration into the wider galactic community. The central topic, much to the humans' bewilderment, was their relationship with Earth's animals. Ambassador Sarah Chen found herself at the center of attention as she took the podium, facing a sea of alien faces ranging from curious to outright hostile. Esteemed members of the Galactic Council, she began, her voice steady despite the tension in the room. I understand there are concerns about humanity's coexistence with other Earth species. I am here to address those concerns and hopefully bridge the gap in our understanding. A holographic display flickered to life behind her, showing images of various Earth animals. Gasps and murmurs rippled through the audience at the sight of lions, bears, and other predators. These are some of Earth's wild animals, Sarah explained. While formidable, they are not our enemies. Through centuries of coevolution and later domestication, humans have learned to live alongside many species. The Vorkun representative, a being of living crystal, chimed in. But Ambassador, our reports indicate you keep miniature versions of these predators in your homes. How can you trust such creatures near your offspring? Sarah smiled, pulling up an image of a golden retriever playing with a toddler. This is my niece and her dog, Max. Like many Earth pets, Max has been domesticated over thousands of years. He's gentle, loyal, and protective. She went on to explain the concept of domestication, selective breeding, and the deep bonds formed between humans and their animal companions. The aliens listened with a mixture of fascination and disbelief. But surely, interjected Zixera, these creatures still possess their predatory instincts. Are there not incidents of them turning on their owners? Sarah nodded gravely. While rare, such incidents do occur. But they're the exception, not the rule. We take responsibility for the animals in our care, training them, and ensuring their needs are met. As the summit progressed, the human delegation shared more about Earth's biodiversity, the role of animals in human history, and the complex relationships between species. They explained concepts like conservation, animal rights, and the ongoing efforts to balance human expansion with the protection of natural habitats. The revelation sparked intense debate among the alien representatives. Some saw humanity's ability to coexist with such a diverse and potentially dangerous biosphere as a sign of remarkable adaptability. Others worried it indicated an inherent aggression that could pose a threat to galactic peace. During a recess, Sarah found herself cornered by a group of curious alien diplomats. Their questions came rapid fire. Is it true humans intentionally alter their pet species through genetics? How do you prevent these pets from overrunning your cities? Are there humans who bond with the most dangerous predators? Sarah answered patiently, explaining everything from responsible pet ownership to the strict regulations surrounding exotic animals. She shared stories of service animals, therapy pets, and the deep emotional connections humans formed with their animal companions. As the summit drew to a close, the galactic community remained divided on how to proceed with human integration. But there was no denying the fascination that had taken hold. Many representatives requested permission to visit Earth, eager to see this strange world and its inhabitants for themselves. In the final session, High Counselor Venthor addressed the assembly. While concerns remain, we cannot ignore the potential benefits of embracing humanity's unique perspective. Their ability to forge alliances with other species on their world may offer invaluable insights for our own interspecies relations. The decision was made to proceed with human integration, albeit with careful monitoring and cultural exchange programs to bridge the vast gaps in understanding. As Sarah prepared to return to Earth, she felt a mix of exhaustion and hope. The road ahead would be challenging, but the potential for growth and mutual understanding was immense. Little did she know, as her ship broke orbit from Xanadu Prime, that humanity's revelation about their relationship with Earth's animals had set in motion events that would reshape the galaxy. Some species began to reconsider their own relationships with the fauna of their worlds, while others started secret research into Earth's history of domestication, hoping to replicate humanity's success. And in the shadows of the galactic political arena, a few far-seeing individuals began to wonder. If humans could tame the deadliest creatures on their world and turn them into allies, what might they be capable of on a galactic scale? Alien conspiracy and human ingenuity. As humanity settled into its role within the galactic community, not everyone was content with the uneasy acceptance that had been reached. A coalition of species, led by the militaristic Zarkon Empire, saw the humans' ability to coexist with deadly creatures as a potential threat to the existing balance of power. In a secret meeting on the frontier world of Nebula's Edge, representatives from a dozen species gathered to discuss their concerns. "These humans," growled Grakthar, the Zarkon military attaché, his scales bristling with agitation. "They speak of peace and cooperation, but they are born warriors. A species that treats apex predators as companions cannot be trusted." Mira, a sylphid empath, countered softly, "But isn't their ability to form bonds with other species a sign of their capacity for peace?" Grakthar slammed his clawed fist on the table. "It's a sign of their ability to subjugate. Today, it's their earth animals. Tomorrow, it could be us." The debate raged on, but eventually, a consensus was reached. The coalition would work to isolate humanity, limiting their influence and access to galactic technology. More importantly, they would launch a covert operation to study and potentially weaponize Earth's most dangerous creatures against their human masters. Unaware of the conspiracy brewing against them, humanity continued to make strides in the galactic community. Earth had become a popular tourist destination, with aliens flocking to wildlife preserves and pet shelters to witness the unusual human-animal dynamics firsthand. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, a veterinarian turned xenobiologist, found herself at the forefront of interspecies education. She had set up a program that allowed alien scientists to work alongside human-animal behaviorists, hoping to demystify the relationships that had so startled the galactic community. Today, Elena addressed a group of alien researchers at her facility in Kenya. "We'll be working with one of Earth's largest land predators, the African lion." The assembled aliens watched in awe and terror as Elena and her team demonstrated their work with a pride of lions. Using a combination of respect, understanding of lion social structures, and carefully cultivated trust, the humans were able to interact safely with the massive felines. "The key," Elena explained, "is understanding that we are not subjugating these animals. We're forming a mutually respectful relationship. It's about communication, not domination." As the demonstration concluded, one of the alien researchers, a Volox named Zrin, approached Elena. "Dr. Rodriguez, your work is fascinating. But I must ask, how do you overcome the fear? These creatures could easily kill you." Elena smiled. "Fear is natural, Zrin. We don't ignore it. We respect it. It keeps us alert and reminds us to always treat these animals with the reverence they deserve. But we've learned that most creatures, even predators, don't attack without reason. Understanding their behavior, their needs, and their communication allows us to coexist." Unbeknownst to Elena, her words were having a profound effect on Zrin. The Volox had been sent as part of the conspiracy to gather intelligence, but what they were witnessing was challenging their preconceptions. As the program progressed, Elena and her team showcased human interactions with a variety of Earth's creatures, from gentle herbivores to deadly venomous snakes. Each demonstration highlighted not only human adaptability, but also a deep respect for the autonomy and nature of each species. Meanwhile, the conspiracy's efforts to weaponize Earth's fauna were meeting with consistent failure. Every attempt to control or manipulate the animals without the human approach of mutual respect and understanding led to disaster. Grakthar, growing increasingly frustrated, decided to take matters into his own hands. Using advanced cloaking technology, he infiltrated Elena's facility, intent on stealing research data and, if possible, some animal specimens. But Grakthar had underestimated both the animals and the humans. As he crept through the compound at night, he triggered silent alarms. The facility's security system, a unique collaboration of human technology and animal instincts, sprang into action. Elena was awoken by the facility's eye. "Doctor, we have an intruder. Protocol Sigma is in effect." Protocol Sigma was a security measure that showcased the true depth of human-animal cooperation. As Grakthar moved through the compound, he found himself herded and corralled by a coordinated effort of humans and animals. Parrots raised the alarm with piercing shrieks, while trained dogs tracked his scent. Security personnel worked in tandem with the animals, using their enhanced senses to pinpoint the intruder's location. In a final desperate attempt to escape, Grakthar burst into the big cat enclosure, only to find himself surrounded by lions, with Elena calmly standing among them. "I wouldn't move if I were you," Elena said softly. "They don't take kindly to threats." As Grakthar was taken into custody, the full scope of the conspiracy began to unravel. The Galactic community was shocked by the attempted sabotage, but even more so by the humans' response. Instead of reacting with anger or calls for punishment, humanity extended an offer of education and cooperation. They proposed an expanded program of interspecies exchange, aiming to share their philosophies of coexistence and mutual respect with the wider galaxy. The conspiracy's failure and humanity's response marked a turning point in galactic relations. Many species that had been wary of humanity now saw their approach to interspecies relationships as a model to aspire to. As Elena debriefed the Galactic Council on the incident, she emphasized the lesson at the heart of humanity's success. Our strength doesn't come from dominating other species, but from understanding and respecting them. This is the gift we hope to share with the galaxy, the ability to see allies and friends where others might only see threats. The council chambers buzzed with excitement and contemplation. Humanity had not only thwarted a major threat, but had done so in a way that showcased their unique philosophies. As the session concluded, there was a palpable sense that a new chapter in galactic history was about to unfold, one where humanity's unusual relationship with Earth's creatures might just hold the key to a more harmonious universe. The Battle of Proxima Centauri. The aftermath of the failed conspiracy led to a tense standoff between the Galactic Council and the Zarkon Empire. Despite diplomatic efforts, the militant faction within the Zarkon military, bitter about their exposed plot and humanity's growing influence, pushed for drastic action. In a bold and reckless move, the Zarkon launched a surprise attack on humanity's first extrasolar colony in the Proxima Centauri system. Their goal was to demonstrate the fragility of human expansion and to prove that, for all their talk of coexistence, humans were defenseless without their Earth-born animal companions. As Zarkon battleships entered the Proxima Centauri system, the human colonists found themselves vastly outgunned and outnumbered. Emergency distress signals were sent, but help from Earth would take days to arrive. Colonel Maya Sanderson, the colony's head of security, knew they couldn't hold out in a conventional battle. As she gathered her staff in the command center, an idea began to form, one that would put humanity's unique relationship with animals to the ultimate test. "We may not have our Earth animals here," Maya announced, her voice steady despite the chaos around them. "But we've spent the last 5 years studying and forming bonds with the local fauna. It's time to put that knowledge to use." The plan was audacious, and to any other species would have seemed insane. But the human colonists, drawing on centuries of working alongside Earth's diverse and often dangerous wildlife, set to work. As Zarkon ships began to land, disgorging waves of heavily armed troops, they were met with an unexpected resistance. The human colonists had mobilized Proxima Centauri's wildlife in an unprecedented display of interspecies cooperation. Giant, 6-legged herbivores resembling a cross between elephants and buffalo charged Zarkon formations, their thick hides impervious to standard energy weapons. Swarms of bioluminescent flying creatures, guided by human pheromone signals, created confusion among the invaders, disrupting their communications and sensor readings. But the true shock came from the apex predators of Proxima B creatures that loosely resembled Earth's big cats, but with chameleonic skin and venomous claws, moved in concert with human defenders. Years of careful study, respect, and cautious bonding allowed the humans to fight alongside these deadly animals with a coordination that left the Zarkon troops in disarray. Colonel Sanderson, riding atop one of the massive herbivores and flanked by a pack of the predators, led a counterattack against the main Zarkon landing zone. Her voice rang out over the comm system. "Remember, we're not controlling these beings. We're asking for their help. Show them the respect they deserve." The battle raged for hours, with the Zarkon struggling to adapt to the unconventional tactics. Their superior technology was offset by the unpredictable nature of the wildlife and the humans' uncanny ability to coordinate with them. In orbit, the Zarkon fleet found itself under attack from an unexpected quarter. The colonists had managed to communicate with Proxima's aquatic megafauna, enormous creatures that lived in the planet's deep oceans. These leviathans breached the surface, launching themselves at low-flying Zarkon ships and creating gravitational disturbances that disrupted fleet formations. As news of the battle spread across the galaxy, it was met with shock and awe. Many species had dismissed humanity's talk of cooperating with wildlife as mere sentiment. Now, they were witnessing its potential as a revolutionary form of warfare and planetary defense. Sinra, a Sylphid observer with the Galactic Council peacekeeping force, watched the unfolding battle with a mixture of horror and fascination. "By the cosmic winds," she whispered, "they've turned an entire biosphere into their allies." The tide of battle turned when a particularly massive aquatic creature, guided by human marine biologists, breached directly beneath the Zarkon flagship. The resulting impact and gravity wave sent the massive warship tumbling out of orbit, its systems failing as it began to break up in the atmosphere. Seeing their command structure in chaos and facing an enemy they couldn't hope to understand, let alone defeat, the remaining Zarkon forces began to retreat. As the last drop ships fled the surface, leaving behind stunned and surrendering ground troops, a cheer went up from the human colonists and their unlikely allies. Colonel Sanderson, her uniform torn and covered in the bioluminescent residue of Proxima's flying creatures, addressed her troops and the watching galaxy. "Today, we've shown that humanity's strength lies not in domination, but in cooperation. We didn't win this battle because we were stronger or had better weapons. We won because we took the time to understand and respect the life around us, to forge bonds of mutual benefit and trust." As she spoke, the giant predator-like creatures lounged nearby, their chameleonic skin shifting colors in apparent response to the emotions of the humans around them. The giant herbivores trumpeted in what seemed like triumph, while swarms of flying creatures created dazzling displays in the sky. "To those who see our relationship with other species as a threat," Sanderson continued, her voice growing stern, "understand this. We do not seek to conquer or control. We seek to coexist, to learn, and to grow alongside the diversity of life in this vast universe. And we will defend that principle and our non-human friends with everything we have." The Battle of Proxima Centauri marked a turning point in galactic history. Humanity's approach to interspecies relationships, once seen as a curious quirk or potential weakness, was now recognized as a powerful and transformative force. In the days that followed, as Galactic Council peacekeepers arrived and the full story of the battle emerged, delegations from across the galaxy descended on Proxima B scientists, diplomats, and military observers, all sought to understand and perhaps replicate the incredible symbiosis they had witnessed. But as Dr. Elena Rodriguez, who had rushed from Earth to assist in the aftermath, reminded the eager visitors, this isn't about gaining a tactical advantage. It's about fundamentally changing how we view our place in the cosmos. Every world, every species, has something to teach us, if we're willing to listen and respect them as fellow beings, not resources to be used. As the humans of Proxima Centauri began the process of rebuilding, aided by their new alien friends and the world's wildlife, the galaxy watched and wondered. Humanity had revealed a power that transcended technology, the power of empathy, respect, and cooperation across the boundaries of species. It was a power that would reshape the future of galactic civilization in ways no one could have predicted. Unexpected alliances and a new era. In the years following the Battle of Proxima Centauri, the galaxy underwent a profound transformation. Humanity's demonstration of interspecies cooperation had sparked a revolution in how sentient beings viewed their relationships with other life forms. The Galactic Council, recognizing the potential of this new paradigm, established the Interspecies Cooperation Initiative, ICA. Earth and Proxima became centers of learning, where representatives from hundreds of worlds came to study humanity's approach to coexistence with other species. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, now serving as the head of the ICI, found herself at the forefront of this galactic shift. What we're seeing, she explained to a group of alien dignitaries, is not just a change in how we interact with animals. It's a fundamental reimagining of our place in the cosmic ecosystem. The impact of this new philosophy extended far beyond academic interest. Worlds that had long struggled with ecological disasters began to find balance by adopting Earth's principles of conservation and cooperative coexistence. Species that had been on the brink of extinction due to conflicts with sentient populations were now being integrated into planetary defense and exploration programs. Even the Zarkon, humbled by their defeat at Proxima Centauri, began to cautiously explore this new approach. Grakthar, the former military attaché who had once seen humanity as a threat, now led a Zarkon delegation to Earth. His mission? To learn how to form bonds with the fauna of the Zarkon homeworld, creatures his species had long seen only as obstacles to be eliminated. "I never thought I'd say this," Grakthar admitted during a training session with Earth dogs, his scaled hand cautiously patting a friendly Labrador. "But there is wisdom in the human way. We've spent millennia trying to conquer our world. Perhaps it's time we tried to understand it instead." The galactic economy also saw significant shifts. Planets known for their dangerous wildlife, once avoided by traders and explorers, became hubs of research and tourism. The demand for human expertise in animal behavior and ecological integration skyrocketed, leading to a new era of human influence across the stars. But this rapid change did not come without challenges. Some species, particularly those with a history of genetic modification and artificial environments, struggled to adapt to the idea of cooperating with lesser life forms. Others saw the spread of human ideas as a soft form of colonialism, fearing the loss of their traditional ways of life. To address these concerns, the Galactic Council convened the Summit of 1,000 Worlds on the neutral planet of Harmony. Representatives from every known sentient species gathered to discuss the future of galactic society in light of the new paradigm. Ambassador Sarah Chen, now serving as humanity's chief representative to the Galactic Council, took the podium to address the assembled delegates. "Friends, colleagues, fellow beings of this vast and wondrous galaxy," she began, her voice carrying across the grand chamber. "We stand at a crossroads. The principles that have guided humanity's relationship with Earth's biosphere have shown their potential on a galactic scale. But we recognize that each world, each species, must find its own path." She paused, looking out at the sea of alien faces, some eager, some skeptical, all attentive. "What we offer is not a doctrine to be blindly followed, but an invitation to explore a new way of existence. One where we see ourselves not as conquerors of nature, but as part of a greater whole. Where the diversity of life is not a challenge to be overcome, but our greatest strength and most valuable resource." As Sarah spoke, holographic displays showcased the successes of the Interspecies Cooperation Initiative. Worlds once ravaged by ecological collapse now thrived. Species that had been locked in centuries-long conflicts now worked together, their unique abilities complementing each other in ways no one had imagined possible. "But this is only the beginning," Sarah continued. "We've taken the first steps towards a truly symbiotic galactic civilization. Imagine a future where every world's biosphere contributes to our collective knowledge and capabilities, where exploration of new planets means not just searching for resources to exploit, but for new life to understand and new partnerships to forge." The chamber buzzed with excitement and debate. It was clear that Sarah's words had struck a chord, challenging long-held assumptions about the nature of progress and civilization. As the summit progressed, a new galactic charter began to take shape. At its core was the principle of cosmic symbiosis, the idea that the true path to advancement lay not in domination of nature or other species, but in finding ways to coexist and thrive together. The Charter established guidelines for planetary development that respected indigenous life forms, created interstellar nature preserves to protect unique ecosystems, and founded a Galactic Academy of Interspecies Studies to further the work begun by humans. But perhaps the most profound change came in how sentient species viewed non-sentient life. The idea of pets expanded beyond the human concept, with beings across the galaxy beginning to form deep, meaningful bonds with the creatures of their worlds. These relationships, once seen as a curious human quirk, were now recognized as a source of emotional, psychological, and even evolutionary growth. As the Summit of 1,000 Worlds concluded, ratifying the new charter and ushering in an era of cosmic symbiosis, Dr. Rodriguez reflected on the journey that had brought them to this point. When we first made contact, she mused, scratching the ear of her faithful dog who had accompanied her to the summit. The galaxy was terrified of our relationship with Earth's animals. They saw only the potential for danger. But in the end, it was this very relationship that showed us all a better way forward. Beside her, Ambassador Chen nodded in agreement. We came to the stars hoping to find new life and new civilizations. Instead, we ended up teaching the galaxy a lesson we learned on Earth millennia ago. That true strength comes not from standing apart, but from standing together. As news of the new Galactic Charter spread, celebrations erupted on worlds across the galaxy. Species that had once eyed each other with suspicion now saw potential allies and friends. The age of cosmic symbiosis had begun, promising a future where the boundaries between sentient and non-sentient, between civilization and nature, would blur into a harmonious whole. And on countless worlds, in the homes and habitats of 1,000 different species, beings of all shapes and sizes looked at the creatures around them with new eyes, seeing not just animals or potential threats, but fellow travelers on the great cosmic journey. The concept of pets, once uniquely human, had become a galactic bridge to a brighter, more interconnected future.